Hey guys, welcome to day 5. Today we are going to be working on a little bit of balancing as we break down Warrior 1 and Warrior 3. So we have spent a lot of time focusing on our core. Nothing changes with that today. If you need to review some of the videos from before, please feel free to do that. I recommend a pyramid pose to warm up the hamstrings. It's also the same shape of the legs that you will find in your Warrior 2. So just make sure you're feeling warm before you hop into this video. And then I'll meet you at a wall when you're ready. So to complete your Warrior 1 on the wall, you're gonna take 1 foot forward and allow the toes to curl back towards your face. So your toes are actually pressing into the molding of the wall. Your opposite foot will step back. Now I like to bring my hands to my hips and really place your fingertips, your peace fingers on top of the hip bone. And that way you can feel what's happening as you start to engage in the pose. We're rotating the back thigh up towards the sky. Again, that's gonna help you square your hips. Now yogis, you might notice as you're utilizing the wall, your stance needs to be a little bit shorter. So feel free to shorten and lengthen the stance, meaning bring your feet as wide as you need to. You want your feet on opposite train tracks. If your feet are on a tightrope, it's going to be very hard to keep the hips square and pointed forward. They're gonna wanna try to open up towards the side to accommodate for the stance of the legs. So coming up to the wall, front foot, toes are pressing into the molding. Your back foot will step back as far as feels good in your body and out. Keeping the hands on the hips. We're gonna start to bend into the front knee. Now we don't want the knee to come all the way to the wall. That's bringing your knee joint over the ankle joint. So we want to keep those stacked. Draw the belly up and in, tilt the tailbone underneath you. Maybe you stay right here with the hands resting on your hips, or maybe you begin to extend your arms up towards the sky. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. Biceps next to your face. Keep reaching up through the fingers. And when you're ready, we'll release the hands back to the hip, straighten the front leg, and just switch it out. So opposite foot steps forward. The ball mounds of your toes are gonna press into the molding. Extend your back leg towards the back of the room. Feet are on opposite train tracks. Make sure you have some room so that you're able to close your hips. Start to lunge into the front knee. Remember, we don't need the kneecap to touch the wall. You're gonna push the knee joint over the ankle joint if you were doing that, so allow some space there. Rotating the back thigh up towards the sky, and we're gonna try to press into both of our feet equally, so as we lunge, we're not putting everything in the front leg. Belly is staying engaged. We're engaging through our left or right glute rather. Arms can stay on hips or reach them up over your head. Just hold here for a couple rounds of breath. And then release the arms back down. Straighten the front leg and come off the wall. So we'll now do our Warrior 1 away from the wall. Keeping the hands on the hips to start, find your mountain pose. 1 foot forward, opposite foot back. Feet are on opposite train tracks. If you need to look down between the legs, make sure that you have some space in between the thighs. And then start to find the lunge. So again, we wanna work the knee directly over the ankle. A 90-degree angle here might not be possible in your personal anatomy. But think about just squaring the hips forward rather than opening them up to the side. Once you arrive in the lunge in the leg, if you'd like to lengthen the back leg behind you to get some more stretch, feel free to do so, but keep your heel pressing down. So if that back heel starts to lift up, maybe shorten the stance so you can firm the heel down. Again, think about pressing equally into both of your feet. Try not to dump all of your weight into the front leg. Belly's drawing in, ribs are pulling back. Arms soften down towards your side and then reach up towards the sky, coming into Warrior 1. Hold this for a couple rounds of breath. I'll avoid creating the back bend here, so if those ribs start to pop open, we want to draw them in and back. And then when you're ready, we'll just switch it out. Opposite foot forward. Find the stance that feels right in the legs. Back heel presses down, your back thigh is rotating up towards the sky. Lunge into the knee. Again, that 90-degree angle might not be totally possible, but try to work the knee over your ankle. Belly's drawing in. Release the arms by your side and reach them up towards the sky, Warrior 1. Couple rounds of breath, keep equal weight in both of the legs. And then as you exhale, release the hands back to the hips. together to touch. All right, we're gonna come into our warrior three, again using the wall. We're gonna use the wall facing it first, and then we'll use the wall facing away from it, and then we'll do warrior three in the middle of the floor. So a lot of core work here. Make sure that your belly stays engaged. Remember, keep your hips closed. Try not to open them up, especially in that third round when we start to fly without the props. You're gonna wanna open the hips up. So it's okay if you lower the leg down to level the hips off. So let's start facing the wall. And we're gonna move our body into the shape of an L. So place the palms on the wall with the wrists in line with the shoulders, and then start to walk the feet back. Maybe you slide the hands down so that you're getting that nice long torso. Now press your palms firmly into the wall, micro bend through the knees. So right here, we're kind of like in a halfway lift, but our palms are pressing into the wall rather than the ground. So take a moment, set up your torso. Notice if the head tries to fall off the body, keep it lifted so your ears are over the shoulders. Now, drawing the belly up and in, we're gonna start to play with floating one of our legs away from the ground, pressing the palms into the wall, and then actively press the extended leg back, rotating the pinky toe down towards the ground. I like flex toes here. If you would rather point your toe, that's okay too. Keep a micro bend in your foundational or your standing leg. Hold for a couple rounds of breath, and then we'll switch it out. Keeping your core engaged. Take a moment to reset if you need it, and just begin to float your other leg. Closed hip, meaning both of your hips are pointed down at the ground as if they were headlights shining on your bottom foot. Micro bend through your standing leg. Press the heel of your extended leg towards the wall behind you as you press your palms into the wall in front of you. Hold for a couple rounds of breath, and then we'll release that down. All right, nice job, you guys. We're gonna face away from the wall now. So we're gonna come to a seat so we can find where our hands are going to be. Scooting the hips all the way back against the wall. Extend the legs in front of you. So you're gonna wanna start with your hands roughly about where your feet are. So just make a note of where that is. And then we're gonna come to standing. Reach the arms up over your head for mountain. And take a forward fold. All right, from your forward fold, guys, we're gonna extend one leg back at a time. Finding that L shape in your body, tenting your palms away from the ground. Now, utilizing the wall, you can really find some strength in the legs. Notice your lifted leg, what the hip is doing. You wanna press the hamstring straight up towards the sky by engaging the quad. Imagine that someone is underneath you pressing the quad up, and then press your heel firmly into the wall like you're trying to create a dent. Now, same thing with your foundational leg. You want to really root that foot down into the ground like you're pressing it into some mud. Pressing into the tripod of the bottom foot, keep tenting the hands, belly's drawing up and in. Hold for a couple rounds of breath, and then we'll switch that out. Opposite leg will extend towards the wall. Find that fire, that strength in the legs. The wall is here to help you keep the pelvis aligned. So bringing the legs to an L first, tenting the hands, micro bend through the foundational leg. Imagine someone is pressing your lifted quad up towards the sky and then firmly press the foot. And then the same thing with your foundational foot, root it down into the ground. When you feel complete, release. Slowly rise to standing. All right, you guys, we're gonna take warrior one and move into warrior three. Keep that belly really tight and engaged so you can stay safe as you move into your balancing pose. So hands will come to the hips. We're gonna step one foot forward and the opposite foot back. Start to lunge into the front leg, reach the arms high. Now for more fire, keep the hands reaching up towards the sky. It'll be a little bit tougher the farther your arms are away from your core. If you want a little bit less today and you really want to focus on the hips, keep the hands on the hips so you can see what happens to the pelvis as you begin to launch forward. I'm going to reach my arms up over my head, and then we're just going to start to play with distributing the weight forward. So slowly begin to come off of the back leg and then press the heel back down. So you're gonna resist on the way down. Imagine that you're pressing your heel through thick air, keeping a little bend to the front leg. And then when you're ready, we'll begin to launch all the way forward, reaching the fingertips forward, pressing your back foot behind you. Now try to bring your shoulders in line with the hips. Drop that extended hip down. You're gonna feel some fire through your standing leg. Hold here for a breath in. And release it on the breath out. Really nice job, you guys. Let's switch that out. Hands to hips. Opposite leg steps back. Feet are on opposite train tracks. Rotating the back of the thigh up. Keep the core super engaged. Remember, more fire, arms come up over your head. This is gonna help you engage and feel that through the core. Less fire, hands stay on the hips. This will help you feel the anatomy. If you know that you are a person where your hips start to splay open, as you begin to launch here, I recommend keeping the hands on the hips. I'll keep mine down for this second round. Just start to play with shifting the weight forward and back. Resist your heel on the way down. Resistance is helping us build strength through the legs, getting our foundation prepped. And then when you're ready, we'll start to launch it forward, putting a little bit more weight into the front leg. Flex your extended leg towards the wall behind you. Notice if that hip is peeling open. You'll feel it in the hands. Drop it down. If your hands are on your hips and you want a little bit more fire, maybe extend the arms forward. Biceps next to the ears. Work your torso parallel to the ground so your body's in an L shape, or a T rather, with your foot extended back. Breath in and release on the breath out. Woo! Nice job, you guys. Stretch that out again if you need to. Pyramid pose, a prosarita. Maybe sit down and stretch out those hips. Balancing warrior 3 places a lot of strength on the outer hip. So a figure 4 or a half pigeon might be nice. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for being here.